Are you looking for some of the very best day trips from London that you can just take super easily and visit really gorgeous places like this epic castle? Come follow me away as I show you some of the coolest things to do that are near London that are just a short train ride or car ride away. Before we get started, make sure to take your like button and pack it in your carry-on along with your subscribe and share button and get ready to come to England. Our first London day trip starts with the historic city of Oxford. Now, this feels like you stepped into a real-life fairy tale. Now you have the option to get to Oxford from London, both by car or by train. So if you are doing a road trip around England, then you can always drive, but taking the train into Oxford is extremely easy. It is a little bit over an hour. And yes, there are direct trains, so you don't even have to get off if necessary or change trains if that's something that you find confusing. So this is really easy. Oxford is incredibly historical and gorgeous. Now, there are lots of movies that were filmed here, including Harry Potter, which is very easy to see because it is very reminiscent of a Hogwarts vibe. And there are just so many cool things to do and see here. One of the more popular things to do is visit some of the libraries. This is the Bridge of Sighs. I do believe that everybody should come here, and this is a real bridge that connects these two buildings together, and it is really cool. There are many libraries and many historical sites that you can walk around, and you can do your day trip from London to Oxford for incredibly affordable if you just come and walk around and take in the sights. You don't even have to spend any money while you are here, and it is just a really wonderful place to take a stroll around. If you don't want to eat out here, then of course that is also perfectly fine, but this is one of the more popular day trips and one of our highly recommended day trips from London. Oxford is also home to a bunch of amazing restaurants and coffee shops. I tried this bubble tea shop and I absolutely recommend it if you are stopping here on your day trip to Oxford. So whether you're a foodie or into history or filming locations, Oxford is definitely a great spot to put on your list. Next up is one of my favorite hidden gem day trips from London, and this is something that a lot of locals will do, but tourists not so much, and it's taking a day trip up to Hitchin Lavender. Now, you can do this either by car or by train, and if you're going to go by train, you're going to take the train from London King's Cross up to Hitchin, and it's only about 35 to 45 minutes. Now, to get to Hitchin Lavender, if you take the train, you might have to take the taxi, or you could also walk, and it is about a 30-minute walk. So it is a bit, but it's just good to know and stay prepared. Hitchin Lavender is only open for a part of the year at the end of the summer, so make sure to check their website for opening times. My favorite part about this lavender field as opposed to other ones is that it is open for sunset, and it is also open latest in the season. They also have amazing sunflower fields, which is so unique and really cool to see. If you are visiting Hitchin Lavender, make sure to try their food bites, such as this lavender ice cream, and take time to go around their store, which has things like lavender-infused essential oils or lavender beer, lavender wine, and various other lavender goodies. I love lavender, so this is like a great place for me to visit. I definitely think that Hitchin Lavender is one of those lesser known places that tourists are not going to, and you are definitely going to be surrounded by more locals. So if you have a car or you want to take the train, put this place on your list. If you are a castle lover, you need to put Scotchney Castle on the top of your list. It is a day trip from London, and you can get there by train, although it takes a little bit longer. So if you are renting a car for your trip to England, I do recommend driving here, but you can also get here by train. You want to take the train into Royal Tunbridge Wells and then get off at the stop Crossroads, the Down, and you can either walk the 10 minutes to Scotney Castle or you can take one of the local buses. This castle was built in the 12th century but didn't open to visitors until 2007, which is really incredible that we have the privilege to visit both the old house and the new house. And what we're looking at right here is the old house. Scotney Castle is a national trust, so if you are planning on visiting a bunch of national trusts, I would recommend getting the National Trust membership. Yes, you can get this as a foreigner, although you do not get any discounts or anything, but you can do it. Make sure that if you're going to a variety of them over the course of your trip, this is a great way to save money. I would do it on the first trust stop that you visit. Scotney Castle is one of the most unique castles in all of England, which is why I believe that it is 100% worth the day trip from London, even though it is a bit further away. I think that it is absolutely incredible and should top your bucket list. If you are driving to Scotney Castle, I recommend looping in the nearby Podium Castle on your day trip from London if you have a car. Now, Podium Castle is gorgeous. It is also a National Trust property. And this is what I'm saying as to why if you're going to multiple ones, you should get the trust membership. But Podium Castle is harder to get to via train, so you're going to want to put this one on your list if you are renting a car but basing out of London. And if you are at Scotney Castle, this one is quite nearby to visit. I'm obsessed with the moat and how well preserved this castle is. So if you can make it during your time in London, I definitely recommend Podium Castle on your list. It would not be a video about the best day trips from London if we did not mention Bath. Now, Bath is a super easy hour-and-a-half train ride from London. It is direct and it is super quick. You can pop into this absolutely gorgeous historical city for lunch or dinner and a walk around. You can easily see how Bridgerton was filmed here and how it's inspired from Jane Austen. This next day trip is beyond incredible and one of the more hidden gems that people that are taking a day trip from London definitely are not thinking about. Welcome to Arundel Castle. Now, you can get here from London. There is an Arundel station. It is about a 15-minute leisurely walk into town, and the town is gorgeous, or you can also drive. Now, this castle is easily one of the best ones that I have ever seen in England, and it also has a really cool view of the nearby cathedral. There are nearly 1,000 years of history at Arundel Castle, so whether you have history lovers, kids, or people that just love to see pretty things, this is the place for you. And I can tell you that these grounds are absolutely massive. You can easily spend the whole day here and then the remaining time that you have left walking around the very cute and very nearby city center of the downtown. Now, again, you're going to want to bring your walking shoes because the Arundel Castle property is quite big. They have everything from gardens to other various things that you can tour. You can go inside, of course. There is a rose garden and more. Now, this is not a National Trust, so you will have to pay an additional fee, even if you did get the National Trust pass for other locations. I think visiting both the town of Arundel and Arundel Castle is a totally underrated thing to do as a day trip from London, and I would absolutely put it on your list if this is something that speaks to you. Finally, we are going to be talking about the London day trip that everybody asks about, and that is getting to the Cotswolds by train. Now, if you have a car, you can easily day trip to the Cotswolds from London. It's about 2 to 2.5 hours, depending on where you go. Now, getting around the Cotswolds, I always recommend having a car, but it is possible to do by train. I'm going to show you 2 ways today that we can day trip to the Cotswolds from London by train. There are 2 separate places that you can go and 2 different itineraries that you can try. So let's get started. The first way is to take the train from London Paddington into Morton in Marsh, which is a town in the Cotswolds, and it takes about 1.5 to 2 hours. Now, once you're in Morton in Marsh, that is a very cute town to walk around on your own, but I recommend getting the bus to visit Stow on the Wold and Burton on the Water. Now, these are 2 of my very favorite towns in the Cotswolds. So if you choose this route from London, you are in for a real treat. So once you catch the bus from Morton in Marsh, there are 2 options. It is Stow on the Wold and Burton on the Water. Now, right here, you are looking at Stow on the Wold. Now, this is the highest town in the Cotswolds, and it means holy place on a hill, essentially. And my favorite thing to do here is to visit these amazing doors. Now, these are said to be used by Tolkien as inspiration in Lord of the Rings. And these are old, ancient yew trees that have been here for hundreds of years, and yew trees can grow to be thousands of years old. So this is absolutely one of the best things to do if you are visiting the Cotswolds on a day trip. But otherwise, Stow-on-the-Wold is an adorable ancient market town. It used to be a sheep town, and it's just a great place to walk around, have some lunch. There are some lovely shops and places for pastries and high tea. After Stow-on-the-Wold, you're going to hop on the bus to the nearby Burton on the Water, and this is truly one of the coolest places I have ever visited. This is known as the Venice of England. One of the cutest things to do here is to go to the Burton Model Village, which is a actual real village that is modeled on scale to the town. So all the shops that you see in town are also here in the model village. The food in Burton on the Water is really amazing. There are some ice cream and gelato shops as well as fish and chip shops that you can go eat, but this is such a cute place to stop at on your London day trip, and then you can catch the bus back to Moreton and Marsh to take the train back to London. But if you put both Stow-on-the-Wold and Burton on the Water on your itinerary, and Moreton and Marsh, because it is also very cute, then you have a really good and really solid day trip itinerary from London to the Cotswolds by train and without a car, where you will feel like you are getting a real feel into this adorable part of England. The Cotswolds are popular for a reason. The second way that I suggest to get to the Cotswolds from London by train is to go from London Paddington to Chippenham and then take the bus from Chippenham to the town of Castle Combe. Now, Castle Combe is literally the most adorable fairy tale village you will ever see. It is easily one of the prettiest and most popular villages in the Cotswolds, so make sure to take this into an account if you are visiting. It is also much smaller than Burton on the Water and Stow-on-the-Wold, so there are a few restaurants and shops, but it is definitely much less popular than the other two mentioned, so keep that in mind. I would recommend putting Castle Combe on the same itinerary as Bath, because the train to Bath also goes through Chippenham, so you could, with a little extra time, do both in the same day and make the most of your day trips from London. Of course, if you have a car, you can disregard all of the information about getting here on a train, and you can just drive out and see the best of the Cotswolds from London. It is very easy. I hope you enjoyed learning about some of the very best day trips from London, both with a car and by train, because most of these you can get to by train or car. Again, this is your reminder to get a National Trust membership, which can save you potentially hundreds of dollars depending on where you are going during your time in England. Make sure to please subscribe, share, and like this video, and we will see you for next time. Safe and happy travels to England.